Good afternoon, land of Facebook. I am a little bit casual this afternoon, but that's all good. That's all good. I've got rugby training to go to and lots of things happening with the family. Just wait and see if we can get a few people live on here this afternoon. It's a little bit chilly in Perth. We are feeling the winter, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh. I wanted to have a chat today. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. It's not telling me who's online today. I want to have a quick chat to you. I heard on the news this morning. Hello, thanks for tuning in. Heard on the news this morning. Vicky, hello. I got notification. Thanks for tuning in. Heard on the radio this morning that WA has the highest number of personal bankruptcies in the country, and that Baldivis is leading the way as the highest suburb in Australia, which is quite incredible, isn't it? And then followed by Allenbrook as number 2. Yeah, and it's interesting because there's some big shifts happening and things are recorrecting. WA is still the worst performing economy in the country, the total opposite to a couple of years ago. And there is news that we are bouncing back. The economy is starting to bounce back. But are you seeing it? Yeah, it's pretty full on. It's pretty full on. Are you seeing it? Hello, Carmel. And what's your experience? There's absolutely people, they're saying that confidence is coming back to the economy, and that businesses are starting to feel the upturn again, and that mining is back on, particularly in the iron ore sector, which is great news, great news. But what does it mean? And then I just got an alert come through which prompted me to do the video that the WA Business Club has gone into administration, and that follows the news from last week that the West Perth, I think, Football Club has also gone into administration. So there's lots of this happening across WA. And what I wanted to talk about was, yes, this is happening, and yes, it's probably a correction from the boom of, a lot of money coming in and people getting, taking out big home loans and getting into debt. But what does this mean now? And what are the opportunities? So if you think about anything to do, hello, Grace, thank you for tuning in, because it's perfect for you, my friend, perfect for you. If we think about money and people getting into debt, there's solutions that need to be addressed. So perfect timing for you, Grace. Thank you for tuning in. That was just divine intervention. Because, they were saying on ABC Radio this morning that a lot of people in debt often sit in fear and silence because they get too overwhelmed. They think they're the only ones, and they just don't know where to go. So they're talking about calling the National Debt Helpline. And I thought that's really interesting, because obviously they're not going to be the only one if WA has the highest number of personal bankruptcies at the moment. Hello, Candace. Thanks for tuning in, Candace. Nice to have you here. So there's opportunities if you are in the financial space. So as yourself, Grace being an accountant, if you're a financial planner or financial advisor, you might be a psychologist, you might help people reset their patterns and their DNA patterning that's come through their system. You could be a holistic healer, you might be a business coach or a life coach in helping people break patterns and get back onto the path. You might have your own tale of bankruptcy or personal loss that you can share with others to help uplift and inspire and show that you're not alone and that there is a way out, because we love those stories, don't we, of people overcoming adversity, and also then knowing that we're not alone, we're not the only ones. They really do resonate. So I just would really like you to think about that these are some of the opportunities that are there at the moment, and it will be something that will be spoken about, ongoing probably for the next couple of months, but definitely over the next week. There's opportunity there for you to get your story out to the media, and how do we help people? We're perfect for you, Grace, in terms of, are you facing debt? How do you get out of debt? What are the first 3 steps, or the first 3 most important things that you need to do to get out of debt? So there's lots of opportunity there, and I just really wanted to get on and share that. Oh, excellent, Grace. Great ideas. I'll get onto that. Yeah, did you hear, Grace, the news today? Did you come across that at all? That we have the highest number of personal bankruptcies, and probably, I would say, business bankruptcies as well. Yes, Vicky. Yeah, I bet medical condition, absolutely. And from memory, my memory is not the best, but they had a financial advisor who was also a lecturer at Curtin, I think, and he said that the 4 reasons for people going into bankruptcy was credit and overspending, medical conditions, divorce, and business going under. So yeah, medical conditions are up there, and again, you wouldn't be the only one that has been through this experience, so it'd be really worth tapping into that, Vicky, and sharing that, because your story will also help others resonate. Well, others will resonate with your story and then feel that connection and be more inclined to work with you, knowing that you have gone through what they're going through. And it's always great to have that common experience to share, particularly yeah, sorry, just reading Grace's comment. Yeah, and every other aspect, yeah, bankruptcy can just be absolutely heartbreaking. So yeah, you see a lot of it with businesses, Grace. Yeah, I bet there has been a lot with businesses. I think they were saying that in WA we've had 4,000 personal bankruptcies in the last 12 months, and that could most definitely rise over this financial year, and particularly with the banks having tighter controls around lending at the moment that's coming in, and with the banking inquiry as well, that could also tighten things up. So it's going to be more difficult and more challenging. But you know, I guess with everything, one of my lessons has been that we go into fear and we address fear head on, and quite often when we think that could be the worst possible outcome, quite often isn't as bad as what we think. I just got to see this comment before I lose it. Yeah. Yeah, Vicky, I would definitely share that with it was a Facebook Live, a blog, a LinkedIn post, because it would be a common experience, no doubt, for people that are going through, chronic illness. Yeah, and what's Candace said here, overreaching on mortgage lending without putting down more than half of the deposit during the boom has not helped. No, it hasn't, and that was something that financial fella also spoke about, that 98-99%, or people were going for 95% to 98% of the mortgage having to be borrowed, and then with the downturn, particularly in the mortgage belt areas, that you might have been FIFO workers and families getting their first mortgage, going down to the mortgage belt areas, taking out big loans of $400,000 or $500,000, and all of a sudden you lose your FIFO job and the high income, and you can't replace that income, or it's really difficult to get back into the market. Hi, Abby. Thanks for tuning in. So it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. But what I just wanted to share with you today is that there's definitely media opportunities for you if you wanted to share your own story, because the media love the human element. And if we can offer any solutions, which, Grace, you would be able to do that, the media also like that. So personal experiences people resonate with, and when we can offer solutions, the media really do like that. So we're not just promoting our business, but we're actually solving a problem. That's a really, really powerful thing. Also, Abby, your story as well, which was another health example too, but with your daughter. So it's interesting, isn't it? Interesting, not the most pleasant thing to talk about, but it's something that is trending at the moment. And I just thought, when I saw, g'day Scott, when I saw WA Business News alert just pop in that the WA Business Club has gone into administration, I just thought, ooh, might just do a quick video about that, because it's something that is definitely trending here in WA. And I think, they're talking about a correction in the property market in Melbourne and Sydney. And this could, it could very much mirror on the East Coast. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying, if I'm certainly not an expert in matters of finances, not my area of expertise at all. Too many numbers, too much detail. I'll leave it to Grace. Thank you very much. Paul, hello. you. How are you, buddy? How are you? Paul, you might be seeing... I am great. Thank you, Paul, for asking. Thank you for asking. All right, Candace has said it's affecting loads of people. And they were saying too how wages haven't gone up. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up and the smiles. Thank you, appreciate that. Candace, that's right. They were saying that wage growth has stayed stagnant in WA. Yeah, so the pressure is real. The pressure is real. And we've had house prices drop. So, you know, it's not a pretty situation to be in, having to sell your house for more than you bought it for and then not being able to pay off debt. It's not pretty, but it's not, you know, it's also not forever. It's also not forever. And if you are going through it, know that it's not forever. There is light on the other side, and seek help, reach out. There is a national debt hotline. Don't ask me what the number is, but you can Google it. And they just said, really get out there and talk to people, because it's not pleasant. Oh, the other reason for bankruptcy was relationship breakdown as well. Oh gosh, yeah. So Paul, I was thinking, are you seeing this with people that are coming through to do your career counselling and, you know, jazz up their resumes of some of the financial pressures that they're under? I know that it was spoken about a lot, you know, 2-3 years ago when we started to hit the downturn. But it's interesting that we're heading, you know, #1 with personal bankruptcies in the country. But I got a feeling that the East Coast won't be far behind. Yeah. Ryan, thanks for tuning in. Oh, thank you, Vicky, for putting up the National Debt Hotline. That's really kind of you. Really kind of you. And just, you know, just to reiterate, because I've got to go in a second, pick up the kids, but just to reiterate that you're never alone in whatever you're going through, you're never alone. And by sharing your story, whether it's a Facebook post, you will also be encountering somebody else who has shared that story, and you could make a really big difference in doing that. Candace. Oh, thanks, Candace. That's really sweet of you. Thank you so much. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Yeah, well, I just thought it was worth doing a video because, one, there's media opportunities, and two, there'll be other people that are going through the exact same thing. Hey, Jules, thanks for tuning in. You know, and if we can help others, that's a great thing by sharing our own story. And if we can help others by bringing attention to an issue, you know, it's no skin off our nose, is it? All right, I must go. I have to pick up 2 children and then get to rugby training. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in. I hope this has been of value. And if you wanted, you know, a free 30-minute chat about media opportunities and how that relates to your business, no matter how big or small it is, because the media opportunities are always there, and the media are always looking for stories, always, always, always. They need content. And if we can, one, share an angle, like a human element angle that others will resonate, and two, show that we can solve a problem, okay, the media will want to talk to you. It's that easy. Easy peasy. Thanks, Candace. It's been really nice to have you tune in. You little legend, you. I really hope you're well. I haven't seen you in a long time, so thank you for tuning in. Thank you. And it's bye from me.